Hey guys, Coop here. Now, just for starters, I'm going to show you guys how to make the Loveless bolts, and I just want everybody to be very clear on this. This is not my idea. I did not come up with this idea. A fellow YouTuber named Mr. John, which I'll put his link down below, he's the one that I learned how to do this from, and you guys want to go over and check out his video, you know, more than welcome to go over there and look at what he's got to do. He's a very, very accomplished knife maker, makes some awesome blades, but I've just redesigned the way he does it because he uses bigger pins than I do. I want a smaller pin, and to start off, I'm using 6/32 2-inch long bolts. And of course, they come with the nut. Now you can get brass, you can get stainless steel, you can get regular, whatever you want to use. This particular knife, I'm going to use just stainless steel, and when I'm done with it, it'll be a 1/4 inch Loveless bolt is what it'll be. So to get started, he's got a little jig that he made out of an old drill press or an old drill chuck to hold his material. Well, I don't have one of them, so I'm going to show you guys how to make a jig without using the drill chuck, and that's dowel rod. I think this is 1/2 inch, I believe, or maybe 3/4. It doesn't matter, whatever size. Anyway, I'll show you guys how I make this little jig here in just a second. Stay with me. Okay guys, now that I've got my dowel rod in my vise, got it cut, I'm going to go ahead and put my bit inside there. Now if you're using 6/32 bolts, you'll want to make sure your drill bit is the next size smaller to make your jig out of. And basically I just put a hole straight in the top of it. And you don't have to go down very far, 1/4 inch maybe. Just try and keep it as straight as you can. Once that's in there like that, you got the bolt. And what we'll do is we'll take our bolt right here that's got our washers on it. And we'll just screw it down into the little jig. And this is what will hold, it'll give you an extra thing to hold on to while you turn these on your belt sander. Alright, that should be far enough. Alright guys, now I'm going to cut you off here and get set up on the belt sander. Alright guys, now the trick to this thing is you've got to sand down all these high spots on these nuts, and you'll want, when you're done, you want all these nuts to be the same diameter as the top of that screw. That way it'll make you a nice 1/4 inch Loveless bolt with a 6/32 bolt in the center. Alright, now you might want to turn down your volume right now because I'm going to turn on the old sander and we'll get to going. Alright guys, you get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and pause you here and I'm going to finish this up, and I'll come back to you with the finished product. Okay guys, I've got my grind done, and I check it, and she's on a 1/4 inch. Every one of them need to be a 1/4 inch. Now you don't have to do, 6 of these at one time. The only reason I'm doing 6 of them at one time is because I'm putting 3 pins in the knife. If you're only putting 2 pins in it, you only need to do 4. Alright guys, and once again, I just want to make sure everybody knows this is not my idea. This is Mr. John who I learned this from. So, you know, like I said earlier, go over and check his link below, and he'll show you how he does it. This is just how I do it because I don't have the setup he does. And there is another way you can do this, which I'll show you here in just a few minutes when I set it back up. But now these are the Loveless bolts. So just give me a second and I'll show you what they look like once they're taken apart. Okay guys, let's go ahead and take these bolts apart. Just gonna unscrew it from your jig. Once you get it unscrewed, I usually put it in the vise on the first nut. That's the one that's tightened down the hardest. I don't cramp it down that far, just enough to where I can break the tension. Let's try that again. There we go. Once we get them started, then we can take the jig off. And unwind them with our fingers. And there you go, boys, girls. There's your nice little Loveless bolts. Alright, now if you don't have a piece of dowel rod and you don't have a belt sander, another way you can do this is put your bolts on there just like I showed you earlier. Then just take your drill, follow you around here with this. This might take you a little bit longer doing it, but just take your drill, pull your bit out of it, stick your bolt right in there. Now I suggest if you're going to do this, don't use a cordless one, use an electric drill, and just take you some sandpaper. It's going to take you a while to do it, but you just turn it on and just use your sandpaper to whittle down your high spots. And once you get all of them down to 1/4 of an inch, guys, you're ready to rock. Alright, if you guys have any comments or questions, put them below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I appreciate you guys taking the time to view my channel, watch my videos. It means a lot to me, and hope you've learned something. Once again, go over and check out Mr. John's channel. His link will be down below. And pretty much, old Coop's gonna say, Coop out.